The Heat begin the game with the basketball. Dragic to Waiters. Oh, not a good pass there. That's a turnover. Knicks with stuffs it down with authority.
Woo! This rookie is a high flyer. He brings that kind of pro-am vibe to the NBA, and it's fun to watch.
That's me. Let's go. Pick him up. Pick him up.
Jay, sometimes it's not just the Heat that does opponents in Miami.
I've been a victim to this multiple times when we have played the Heat, and I think other franchises from cold cities teams are ready to play.
Goran Dragic at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 76% from the line. Good free throw. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
As Bender, we call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Reggie Bullock trying to cash in on a 3-point play. For his career, 79% at the line. It's the Heat with the possession. Here comes the screen. Has a chance. Deep 2 there, won't go.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will...
That no good, off the mark. Smith into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Oh, emphatic slam.
Hey, look, this is a new wave.
The Heat with the possession. Dragic. To Julius Randle. Dennis Smith Jr. Tough matchup against Butler.
So you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
Knocks down the first. And gets both to drop at the line. Big finish that time for Julius Randle. Short jumper off the mark. Randle. Dragic. They'll go to Butler down low. He throws it down. Jay, perhaps that's a start.
Those kind of plays get me fired up. That's a momentum play. They looked lifeless here in the first quarter, but a dunk like that can get your team going in the right direction.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Jay, the Knicks searched long and hard for their next head coach. They chose David Fizdale. Why was this the right choice?
Well, first off, he's a 2-time NBA champion as assistant coach with D. Wade and LeBron James from Miami Heat, and I got some time to spend with him. Very stern, but it comes from a brotherly place. His ability to build the right culture in New York will be imperative, but it all starts with that kind of teaching.
Butler to Waiters. To shoot for Miami. Dragic fires the 3 off the mark. No good. To Dennis Smith Jr. Randle to Monroe. Here comes the screen. Beyond the arc for 3. They have to keep him in their grasp.
He showed that he had great chemistry with his teammates on that shot. Keep getting him good looks, and the one will just keep scoring.
To Butler. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. Doesn't get the bounce. Pass stolen by Miami. Waiters to Butler. Won't go down.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot that the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
To Monroe. Nice pass to get things going.
Showing you why he's the best. Efficient scoring out of the rookie here tonight.
Hey, big screen right there, big screen.
Dragic to Butler. Rises for the slam.
It's going to be a long road back, I'm not going to lie to you. But it's only the first quarter, and that's exactly what you needed. You needed to see the ball go in a couple of times.
Add 2 points to the board.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Dragic. They'll get it down to Leonard. No good.
Take a roll right here.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Trying to cash in. Smith shot no good.
That's me. I got ball. I got ball. I got ball. Pick up. Match up.
Waiters to Dragic. And look out. Things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Let's see what the Knicks can do here. Elfrid Payton sizing up Butler. Lets it fly from long range. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
Here comes the screen. Butler. To Randolph. Going to launch beyond the arc. Those shots, Jay, have been few and far between in what has been an uneasy first quarter.
And Ed, sometimes that's all you need. Just get 1 or 2 to fall. Find the rhythm, find the rhyme. You got plenty of time.
Fires the 3. Yes. Or in the case of the defense, not good.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose the dagger with the 3.
To Butler. Wide open look, won't go.
Just seems like there's lead in the feet of the defenders. You have to bounce quicker to the ball to deter that shot.
Give him 2 points. High percentage.
I don't think anyone saw this one coming, but it looks like they're trying to send a message. Look into their eyes. They're laser focused. They're playing as if this game is tied.
Curling inside. Jimmy Butler. He's 3 for 7.
Finally something goes their way. I don't think I need to tell you, but this has been a disaster of a first quarter. They just need somebody to get hot, and then they need to come together as a team and get a few stops.
Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. One player individually is moving around the perimeter and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Butler to Waiters. Shot clock for the Heat down to 3. Has a look. Not that time.
Woo! I like that intensity on that play. That's how you actually dig in the dirt and do your job on the defensive end.
To Payton.
Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Burke with it. His guys down big.
Come on, you gotta work around the screen. You're killing me.
The screen sets him up for 2.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
Payton with the basketball. They can get a 2 for 1 if they play this right. And score.
Layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Burke with it. Down a bundle.
Hey, watch this screen, look.
From the painted area, won't go down.
Well, you can't finish with your right hand on the left side of the rim. You actually have to use your opposite hand. Steve Nash is one of the best at this. Different shots at different angles, high up the glass, expecting that there are trees down below with long wingspans that can block your shot.
First quarter's complete. The Knicks are way out in front. New York Knicks basketball. Short jumper won't fall. To Dragic. Goran Dragic. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
Stepping east, then stepping west, and laying the ball right down the line.
Covering all areas of the map. That's what you... Right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Look, I got him. Here we go. I got him.
Here comes the screen. Five to shoot for Miami. The shot almost. To Julius Randle.
One of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Possession lies with New York. Smith. Here comes the screen. To Marcus Morris. Here's a chance from long range. Contested shot. Marcus Morris can't hit.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep...
Number 11, Dion Waiters.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Gets it in the right corner. To Marcus Morris for three, and he...
One of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Randolph to Dragic. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Tough shot. Well defended. To Marcus Morris. Down for Smith. Goes to the left side. 4-3. That's off the side of the rim. Short.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Cleans the offensive glass. The Knicks secure the rebound.
Double.
To Marcus Morris. Burke with it. Looking to make something happen. New York in control of the basketball. Shot from the lane won't go. Burke with it. He'll run the offense. Rebound comes down to the Knicks. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
Well, look, you can't be caught flat-footed on defense. You need to be on the balls of your feet, especially in transition. You have to jab at that guy with the ball, hedge at him. Make him think that maybe you will take him. Maybe you'll fan out to a defender on the perimeter, but still keep him guessing. But when you don't do that,
On the way, a career 70% free throw shooter. Misses the first. Good recovery. Hits the second free throw. Gets to the basket and scores.
attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Miami with the basketball. Nothing going here on that drive. Dragic. To Waiters. From long range. Can't get the bounce.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
The assist from number 5, Denison Smith.
I got ball. I'm here. Right.
Dragic. The Knicks clear the board.
Got him. Good trap. Trap.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Deep right corner. Randall.
Double.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Fires the three, and it's Randolph with the rebound.
Match up, y'all. I got ball.
Oh, he's denied.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive. But when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Beyond the arc for three. Too easy. Defense has to communicate.
When a rookie starts to believe that he not only can play, but more importantly, he belongs, nights like this become more and more common.
Has a chance. Can't connect. Decided. What will the second half bring? We'll find out as we're underway.
Let's go. Trap me. Yep. Screw your left.
Lobs it up. Tough make through traffic.
Passing the ball on time and on target. As a passer myself, if I can deliver the ball to you in a position where I cannot give you options to think, but just go up and make the play easy, that's a win-win.
Dragic, down low for Leonard. Old school, backs his man down for the basket.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
To Dennis Smith Jr. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
The okey doke. Let's see if he'll try that one again.
Got him.
Dragic.
Here we go.
Goran Dragic. He's 5 for 10, shooting 50%.
Oh my goodness. Someone please patch me into the arena intercom. Clean up on aisle 3.
To Julius Randle. Count the basket at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Here comes the screen. To Monroe. And stuffs it home.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. The pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Watch back door, back door, back door.
Lets it fly from long range. Now that's a contest.
Right into it.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Dennis Smith Jr., defended by Myers Leonard.
But if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
I got ball. I got ball. I got ball. I got ball.
Dennis Smith Jr. able to recover with the block.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Stuffs it down with authority.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
To Butler. Dragic to Butler. Going to launch beyond the arc. No good. Fires the three, buries it on the catch and shoot. Now a steal on a very lazy pass there.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
My ball.
Runner's good there.
Oh, he buckled his knees so bad, it didn't matter if he scored or not. That's a win for the internet.
To Julius Randle. Big finish that time for Julius Randle.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Dude, that was just plain old simple bully basketball. Muscled his way through the lane.
Monroe to Dennis Smith Jr. Nothing going here on that drive. To Monroe.
Pick it up.
Down to 5 on the 24. Here's a chance from long range. Buries the three. He's too good to leave that open.
I know the refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
Free throws coming up.
Just because a team's winning doesn't mean the refs are going to put away the whistle.
Shots coming. A career 83% free throw shooter. First one. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Into the front court comes Smith. His guys hold a commanding lead. Oh, had him going there for a second. Screen coming.
Screen.
Over to the right side. Trying to cash in. Wide open look. Won't go. He shoots. Oh, off the mark.
Just seems like there's lead in the feet of the defenders. You have to bounce quicker to the ball to deter that shot.
To Monroe. The big guy, Greg Monroe. That's how it's done. He's 4 for 4 in the game.
There's something to be said about a guy that can make the game easier for everybody else on the court. We call that dropping dimes, very similar to the way I'm dropping nuggets on this broadcast.
Greg Monroe with the block.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Got him. Trap. Got him.
Down low to Monroe. And throws it down.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Dragic with it.
I got him. I got
His
ball.
guys
I got
down
ball.
big. To Butler. Driving right to the basket. Jimmy Butler, 4 out of 10.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
To Dennis Smith Jr. for three. Where's the chatter? No one was even close to him.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
To Waiters. The possession lies with New York. Deep left corner. To Dennis Smith Jr. Oh, the Heat right there to take it away.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the...
Gets it in the left corner. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Trying to hit 50, but it's no good.
Get down, get down, get down. Half court, here come, here come.
Dragic here against Taj Gibson.
Coming for the switch. Switch.
Down to 5 on the 24. Dragic. That's good D. Shot no good.
You don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Dragic into the front court. Down a bundle. Shot won't go.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
Converts in the paint. Nice finish at the rim. Miami's got it.
In the stands, he's coming, in the stands.
To Dragic. Oh, nice find for the basket.
Woo, did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Stuffs it down with authority.
That's called a grown man play, Ed. Someone's trying to get featured on SportsCenter tonight.
Dragic with the basketball. He'll run the offense. Cashes in for two.
The assist from number 13, Bam Adebayo.
Oh yeah, let's go.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Goes to the left side. To Dennis Smith Jr.
Trap this. Come on, we got it.
Stuffs it down with authority.
Ed, 2 years ago, I was sitting in the draft room absolutely shocked that Dennis Smith went at 9 in the draft. And when I think about this young man's game, he is just scratching the surface of what he can do. He finished tied for 4th among rookies in scoring last season, and I guarantee you his game is going to continuously go to different levels.
Flashing, bump him, bump him, bump him.
He'll let one fly from half court. 3 quarters complete, with the Knicks enjoying a sizable lead. So the Heat will have it to start this 4th and final quarter, and they've really had very little go right for them on either end of the floor.
Remember that old line, your attitude determines your altitude? Well, when you see dejected faces on the sideline, that poor body language gave you an impression that they had no chance to win this game.
Nothing going here on that drive. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Dragic. Short jumper won't go down.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
That's going to be out of bounds. Dragic with it. Looking to make something happen. Nice pace, sets it up and slams it down. Whoa, he got up there.
Just showing you that 40-inch vertical.
Knicks with the basketball. Has a look. Off the mark. Well contested. Probing the defense. Dragic. To Butler. Taj Gibson pins it.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
To Payton. To Butler. The drive, right to the basket. Right through the heart of the defense. The layup is good.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Deep right corner. To Payton. The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk.
Clean up in aisle 4. Repeat, clean up in aisle 4. If there's anyone from the weak side that wants to participate in this game defensively, please raise your hand.
On a pass stolen by the Knicks.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Has a chance. The shot by Payton won't fall. Dragic. Down low for Gibson. Taj Gibson above the rim.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious.
We got this. Let's go.
Substitutions, New York. Stepping in for Miami.
Smith. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
Here comes the screen. Dragic to Butler. 4-3. And the rebound taken by the big lefty, Monroe.
And you knew this game had a chance to get out of hand pretty quickly because of the communication. When these guys stepped on the court, Ed, they were yapping back and forth to each other. And that kind of communication, that kind of collective responsibility to one another, you feel that on the court. That's why this team is special.
From long range, shakes free and hits.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch, but great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
And he finishes at the rim.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Dennis Smith Jr. matched up with Jimmy Butler. Fires the three, buries the wide open three. That's too easy.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jacking back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Curling inside. Short jumper misses.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Beyond the arc for three. And Dennis Smith Jr. so athletic. Good on the quick release.
They're shooting the ball well, but let me tell you why. They're already ready to shoot before they even catch the ball. Look at their hands. Their hands are ready, providing a target. So when they catch that ball, they go right into their shot. We call that being shot ready.
Dragic to Butler. Shot clock for the Heat, down to 3. The jab step opens up space to knock down the jumper.
Ooh, is there a medic in the house? You need to get those ankles retaped ASAP.
Down to Randall. Sheer strength to slam it down. He ran right through the gauntlet.
This is where I go back into player mode. If the dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
And scores. Strong take.
There's certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
To Dennis Smith Jr. Randall. And count the basket inside.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
Butler for 2. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Let's see what the Knicks can do here. And look out.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Waiters. And good work defensively as the pass is taken away.
You better get back on D. This thing is not over.
Big finish that time for Julius Randle. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
Sets him up. Randall. To Dennis Smith Jr. Here comes the screen. To Monroe. Count the bucket for 2.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Dragic to Butler. Oh, with the foul. And a chance coming up at the line.
Okay, now we're on the home stretch, and you got a big lead. Don't let your opponent back in this game by giving up extra possessions.
Jimmy Butler at the line for 2 shots. Shooting 50%. Some yes, some no in this contest. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. Smith now into the front court. His guys hold a commanding lead. New York with 4 to shoot. Trying to cash in. Rebound taken by Olynyk. Desperation shot here from half court. It's a victory for the Knicks as they win this one.
Signing off.